In this video, we're going to use the light sensor on the JackBord BASIC to control the brightness of one of the user LEDs. This is the 7th video out of a set of 10 about sensors. For this video, you're going to need the JackBord BASIC, a USB-C cable, a PC or a Chromebook, and either the Google Chrome web browser or the Microsoft Edge web browser. For this project, we want to use the JackBord's built-in light sensor to control the brightness of one of the user LEDs, in this case number 1. So to achieve this, we need to be able to do two things. The first thing we need to be able to do is control the brightness of the user LED. And the second thing is we need to be able to transfer the readings from the light sensor over to the user LED so that its brightness will be controlled. So the first thing we said we needed to be able to do was to control the brightness of a user LED. And we can do this with the PWM or pulse width modulation command. And all the command does is it controls the duty cycle of a signal being sent to the LED. And essentially 0 for the duty means completely off, and 100% means completely on. And then anything in between is a percentage. So 50 is half brightness, or 25 is quarter brightness. So the command is PWM, then pin, and then duty. So for example, if I wanted to make the user LED number 1 at 10% brightness, I would go PWM space L1 space 10. And this is how we'll control the brightness of the user LED number 1. Right, I'm here on the Start tab at the command line. So the user LEDs are all turned off right now. So if I was to go PWM L1 space 10, you can see user LED comes on, number 1 comes on fairly dim. So just as a contrast, if I was to go PWM user LED number 2 and make it 50, you can see it's quite a lot brighter. So what the PWM command does is it tells the JackBord BASIC that user LED number 1 is going to be a pulse width modulation output, and that's how it will be controlled. So now that we know how to control the brightness of user LED number 1, the next thing we need to do is get at the light sensor reading. So if we run the GT command, you'll see we get this result. So light, JB light, 258 lux. But if you look on the left-hand side, you've got this number here, which is 34. And what that is a channel number. And it's basically just a convenient way of referencing the light sensor on the JackBord. So you can think of channels being like TV channels. Each TV channel has its own number, and you know what station is associated with a given channel. So for example, in New Zealand, you've got channel 1 is TVNZ, channel 2 is still TVNZ, but channel 2, and then channel 3 is TV3, and so forth. So channel 34 represents the brightness in lux, and we'll use that later on in the sync command. So far, we've got the ability to control the brightness of user LED number 1, and we know that we can get the light readings from channel 34. So the next thing we need to do is have a way of joining those two together, and that's where the sync command comes in, which basically means synchronization. And so what it does is it has a source and a destination, and when you run it, the value of the source will automatically control the value of the destination. So for example, if I was to go sync A1 space L1, from that point on, whenever I turn A1 on, L1 will turn on. And whenever I turn A1 off, L1 will turn off. And that is because we've said we want to synchronize L1 with A1. Okay, we're back here on the command line. So right now, if I click on the A1 button, nothing happens. It's just turning A1 on and off. But if I run the sync command, if I go sync A1 L1, what I'm saying is that I want the value of A1 to control L1. So from now on, if I press A1 and turn it on, L1 goes on as well. And if I turn it off, L1 goes off. So now these two channels are synchronized with A1 controlling user LED number 1. And this brings us to our final set of commands. So the first command is the pwm L1 space 10, and that basically tells the JackBord that we want to use user LED number 1 as a pulse width modulation controlled channel. And from that point on, you can control the brightness of user LED number 1 using PWM. And then the second command is sync 34 space L1. So remember from previously, channel 34 is actually the brightness from the light sensor. And so we're sending that value into the user LED number 1. And so from now on, the brightness of light falling on the light sensor will control the brightness of user LED number 1. All right, I'm here on the command line, so let's try running these commands. So the first one is set up L1 or user LED number 1 as a pulse width modulation channel. So we've done that, and you can see the brightness there. And then the next one is to synchronize channel 34, which is the light sensor reading, to L1, which is the user LED number 1. And we've done that. So now if I cover up the light sensor, it gets dim. If I uncover it, it gets bright. And then if I slightly cover it, you can see it's slowly dropping in brightness. And then if I really cover it up, it gets very dim. If I uncover it, it gets bright again. So essentially what we have is the value from the light sensor, is this one here. And if you look here, channel 34 light is 102 and user LED number 1 is 102. So essentially they're following each other. So if I run GT again, now the light reading from channel 34 is 12 and the light reading from the user LED or the brightness value is 12. So the two channels are synchronized together. Now those of you who remember the last videos where we said that the reading from the user light sensor, or from the light sensor rather, is 0 to 64,000 lux. Clearly, we can only use the range from 0 to 100. So you might want to think about how you can get it so that the full range of 0 to 64,000 could map over to the pulse width modulation duty cycle range, which is 0 to 100. There's a challenge. So to summarize, the pulse width modulation command can control the brightness of a user LED, and the light sensor reading is on channel number 34. And we use the sync command to make it so that changes in the light reading will control the brightness of user LED number 1. In the next video, we will use the temperature probe sensor. To get to the next video, simply visit jb.works and search the TMT code shown on your screen. For more information and to get help, visit jb.works.